It's Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube.
All right, what's up, guys? We are back. Mauricio Mejia live inside of Studio B here in downtown San Jose, the heart of Silicon Valley. And today I am honored and with great pleasure have a very special guest today. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. We're going to be talking about Latinas in film, and just what it takes to get into a world that's just so competitive in so many factors. And for you to really just jump off the cliff and take it to a whole different level. Congratulations, by the way. So we have our special guest, Lorena Cortez. I'm going to say it all Latino style. All right. So welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you're getting ready for a big red carpet event coming up. We're going to be there. We're going to be representing. We know we have some special guests from Hollywood. Chicano Hollywood is going to be in the house. And so all eyes on you, representing Silicon Valley, San Jose, and let's make some big dreams come true. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you for having me and for the opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So normally what we do is we dive deep. We go back to the roots, right? I mean, we all have a story to share, and that's really what we want to do here is we want to talk about our past. We want to talk about the journey. Being an entrepreneur, I mean, where did that spark up from, or where did the creative juices get? Where did they come from? Where were the influences? But let's start back to when you were a little chiquita. I by the way, your family's amazing. You guys have talent.
Thank you.
Your father and mother did a great job.
Yeah.
I love your brother. Your brother's super talented with all of the artwork that he does. So. Definitely, we need to get him on the show here as well. But,
for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so share your journey. Born and raised here in San Jose, or?
Yeah, so I'm very lucky. Like you said, I come from a family of artists. I was born and raised here in San Jose. And I come actually from a very long lineage of artists on my mom's side of the family.
So we're going to give your mom the credit instead of your
absolutely. Dad. No, he knows.
Daryl, you hear that? All right, we're we're giving your wife and her mom the credit. So
no, he's aware.
All right, good. We got that out of the way now. So all right.
Yeah, so from my mom's side of the family, everyone from my tios to my grandfather, all very artistic people. So from a very young age, I was lucky, as well as my brothers were lucky, that we were nurtured to really dive into that creativity and pursue it as much as we wanted.
Nice. So family, where are they from? So are they from San Jose, from the United States? What's your background? Where's your family come from?
Yeah, so we have pretty deep roots in San Jose, and then my mom's side of the family is from Chihuahua, Mexico.
Okay. And your dad?
Santa Paula, like LA area.
He's Americanized then,
yes.
Yeah. So the journey starts there. You guys are here. You have siblings too. So how many? Give us the background on that, because I only know one brother. If that's the only thing you have, then that's all I know. So unless there's more, then I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know my oldest brother. So I have two older brothers.
Okay.
Ricardo, the oldest. He's also an artist. Okay. He recently wrote a children's book called The ABCs of Lowriding.
Oh, wow.
So it's all about lowrider history based here in San Jose. And
we definitely need to get him on the show.
Absolutely.
We definitely need to get him. This is the capital of the world of lowriders.
Yes,
so
exactly.
LA tries to take it, but and I come from LA, but San Jose, we know what's up. So definitely we'll have to come check that out.
Yeah, so he's been very successful with that endeavor. And then Emilio, as you know, he works for the 49ers, and he does a lot of artwork and murals around the city as well. Nice.
So what triggered it in you to do because you're going a complete different direction, and they're artists, and he's a writer, your other brother, and you're in film.
So it's funny.
That's pretty courageous too, by the way.
Thank you. It is really challenging.
Yeah,
I will say.
I bet it has been, but I've seen your work, so you definitely got a good eye for that stuff.
Thank you. Yeah. So I actually started with a dream of fashion design. I went to CSU Northridge down in LA and studied fashion design. Received my bachelor's of science in apparel design, and I thought that was going to be my career. But I tried out the fashion industry for a few years, and it just really wasn't for me. I didn't feel like it was a very inclusive atmosphere to be in.
You just like to get into all the brutal parts. Fashion is brutal.
Yeah.
Filmmaking brutal.
Mhm.
I mean, you just,
Brutal in different ways.
absolutely,
though.
but
Yeah.
it's brutal. I mean, it's definitely it's a challenging world. I come from the entertainment industry, and I
Mhm.
did that for 25 plus years, and
Yeah.
I mean, you're only as good as your last party, you know.
Yeah.
And in fashion, you're only as good as your last line.
Hmm.
In movies, you're only as good as your last film.
Right.
So, in writing books, you're only as good as so you're always having to compete against yourself
Right.
to take yourself to the next level.
Mhm.
So yeah.
That's kind of the cool part about it, though, is like you're always thinking to one up yourself and how
Yeah.
can I improve? How can I be better?
Yeah.
So during my time in college, I was studying fashion design and I decided to shoot a mini commercial for one of my designs. And so I got my friend who had a camera. I had a friend who modeled, and then we shot something like 30 seconds. And from that point forward, I had the bug in me to
Oof.
continue the filmmaking journey because I learned how to edit completely on my own and just kept building on that skill set.
Editing is also another skill. That's a brutal
It's
skill
so
too.
much fun though.
It is. So I've shared my story growing up as a young in LA. One of my mentors was he was Tim Nugent was his name. He was a senior editor for Steven Spielberg. And I remember sitting in the back of the old Star Search building. Star Search now there's like America's Got Talent. There's all these different shows. They're spin-offs of Star Search, which was your OG one. And behind in their offices was the editing rooms for like many movie productions. And I remember sitting there for 12 hours and learning how they were slicing frames per second.
Wow.
It was just so tedious. And I got to see some great things behind the scenes that I just remember. I'm like, that's something that I never, ever, ever want to do because I don't have the patience for that. But definitely learned that it takes the talent and the skill for that.
Yeah.
So,
to me, it's like a puzzle, you know,
Yeah.
like you're trying to figure out how the pieces fit together. It's
Yeah.
fun.
what was your? So that was your bug, but what truly was maybe the inspiration that got you going in that direction?
It genuinely was that moment when I created that first little commercial. So I kept doing that throughout my time in college and kept building on that skill set. And then once I pivoted out of fashion into filmmaking, I landed a producer role at a tech company.
Oh, nice.
And that was so much fun. And it really built my skills even further as a producer to think logistically about how filmmaking happens.
I'm sure they had a nice little budget for you too.
Mhm.
There you go,
They
right?
sent me all around the world to travel.
Hey,
It's so
when,
fun.
when you get to spend somebody else's money,
Right.
it's even more enjoyable,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, nice. And
Yeah.
what company can you mention what company it was or?
Yeah, it was eBay.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, they have big dollars, you know. So
Yeah, it was
What-
a lot of fun.
what was the production? What type of productions you put together for them?
It was highlighting a lot of seller success stories. So
Nice.
like sellers that use the platform to make a living off of it. We worked with the CEO a lot to do a lot of internal and external videos.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was a range.
All right, so you starting to get some experience out there, and obviously learning on somebody else's dollar. So that's probably the best way. So what's next on what happens next during that time? I mean, you obviously that's got to be many years ago.
Mhm.
You've been on this path for some time now.
Yeah.
What was the pivot? What made you think where you're at today?
So I unfortunately was laid off, as tech companies do.
Okay.
And that really halted me in my steps and made me think, okay, I have so much time on my hands that I'm probably never going to have again. So what can I do with this time to like really pursue a passion project?
There you go.
So I thought through a bunch of different ideas and I came to the conclusion that I wanted to pursue the short film that I just directed and produced last year.
Nice. Give us a title.
It's called Copacabana.
I love it. That's got to be one of my favorite songs. Old school Barry Manilow songs. And just the vibe that you put. I mean, I love that era.
Yeah.
That era is just
the
so
50s, the glamour.
Yes, the glitz and glamour. The just people just dressed elegant.
Right.
They were I mean, it was just life back then was a lot different than where we're at today. But it feels so good to just pull from that era and be able to, do what you're doing. So,
right. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So I love pulling inspiration from the 40s and 50s,
nice,
but reimagining it with people of color in the forefront.
Oof.
Because that's not something, of course, that was seen back then.
Right.
So, but we were still there, you know.
Yeah, no, they painted the white people with, you know, they darkened them up. I mean, it's facts. I mean, we're not talking shit here. Hollywood is Hollywood, right? Yeah. I mean, that's what they did, you know, and to this day, I mean, we were talking, I had Johnny Murillo here last week, and we were talking about Hollywood, you know, and what Latino Hollywood looks like and what it's going through. And, you know, everyone seems to have their cliques. And it just seems that the Latino culture, the Latinos in Hollywood just are still trying to figure it out, you know? So we need to become stronger and tighter. And we see it, but again, we're going to dive into some politics and we might get censored in here. I mean, the YouTube has been it's crazy. It's been flagging some of my stuff. We're like, we're not even talking politics, you know. But the minute I say politics, cling.
Yeah,
flag. Yeah, no, but I'm happy one that you're doing this, and two, we really think about it. It's just not. You're not just a Latino. You're a Latina in a world that's been dominated a lot by men, and there is some women that have taken positions in there. Who's a woman that I did she did the Cheetos. She was behind the Cheetos and she's been behind Jesus, I can't even think right now of her name. I hosted her at an event. Oh my God.
I know who you're talking about.
Jeez,
the name is escaping me.
I'm going blank right now. Hold on. Oh man. Shame on me on that one. But there's a lot of people, you know, Sandra Bullock's got involved and got behind on some Latino projects. And
Eva Longoria.
There we go, Eva Longoria. Yeah. So I hosted her here in San Jose for an event that represented women, and amazing woman, totally, you know, down for the Latino film stuff, but the politics always seem to get in the way.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to go too deep because I don't know the Hollywood politics. I just know that I've seen it. I've heard it. Never experienced it myself, even though growing up in LA, I always wanted to be a movie star and I wanted to be some kind of on show. And I think that's part of my inspiration of why I created Mauricio Mejia Live was because I'm like, you know what? I'll just create my own shit, you know, and put it out.
To.
Yeah, if there's no seat at the table, you got to make your own seat.
Make your own lane.
Make your own lane. Do something. And because if you're thinking that somebody's going to give it to you, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. So I'm sure that's probably what got into yours, you know, into your vibe and saying, you know what, I got to take it to the next level.
Exactly. I'm based obviously in San Jose, so it's far from Hollywood. I'm not going to have access to the Hollywood producers, but I knew that I was surrounded by so much creativity and talent in the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to not only amplify our voices and our talents, but also, like I said, get diversity in front of the camera and behind. So out of a cast and crew of 68 people, we had 58 people of color and 44 women on set.
Wow.
And I'm really, really proud of those numbers.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, a lot of people don't talk about the history of the Bay Area. The Bay Area is big in the music industry and in the movie industry and in so many things. I mean, Silicon Valley. Some of the big productions have been produced because the technology that came out of the Silicon Valley, the talent, music talent that has come out of here, from Carlos Santana, from Metallica to E40. Gwen Stefani got one of her first breaks not too far from here in San Jose, where she rocked it at one of the nightclubs. It was back in the day, the old Cactus Club. I mean, there was no doubt. You know, that's when. So there's a lot of, and DJs, music, I mean, production, it just doesn't get the love that it probably should, that it deserves. Right. Yeah, there you're right. Because LA is an hour away flight, 5 hours driving, but an hour away. So people migrate over there. And New York is a whole different vibe. That's just way too far. But the Bay Area, people just want to go towards the glitz and that glamour. So they go down there. But I think the Bay Area now has an opportunity to really shine. And I think that we have been doing a good job at starting to elevate ourselves because, again, there's only one Silicon Valley, and that's here, San Jose, the heart of it. Mauricio Mejia Live in the Studio B and the whole thing. That's the inspiration. We want to be high level, you know, and be able to bring up, you know, our people, right? You know, and I don't use the term people of color, but I do respect it. I just think that all people, right? I look at everyone as equal. At the end of the day, we cut our fingers. We all bleed the same color.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand why we have to do and put that label on it, because we need to identify them, right?
Yeah.
But I think that all of us coming together from all walks of life, we need to all have an opportunity. We all have talent, you know?
Yeah, and that representation is really important too, because growing up, if you don't see someone who looks like you, it can really alter the way that you think about yourself or your worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it happens. I mean, I'm sure growing up, you probably had your experiences, and I'm sure your big brothers were there to back you up, but it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. How have you felt so far in this journey that the industry has respected you, right? Whether it's here in the Bay Area or that you've created your own environment, your own universe, but also have you reached out to Hollywood or anyone out there to see if the support is there for you?
Not in Hollywood directly. I'm really trying to focus right here in the Bay Area. But the first part of your question, have I noticed anything about the respect, I think is what you said.
Yeah.
There have been instances where I look around and I'm like one of the only women on the crew,
Mm-hmm.
or one of the only Latinos on the crew. And that's sad to me, because Latinos make up a huge number in this country.
Yeah.
So I would like to see more of us on set and more representation there.
It's happening. And I think when you sit down with people that are old school, like in the Latino community and the Hollywood community,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. Veronica, I've introduced you to Veronica. She's my publicist. Wendy too. They're the team. They're these Latina women.
They're amazing.
And I'm very proud to be a part of their organization. They represent me. And when you hear the stories and you hear the politics, you'll understand it. So that's why our goal right now is to try to change and shift that mindset,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can pave the way for the next generation coming behind us, because not everybody has the patience either and the talent that we have, right? I mean, I just got to say, it requires some talent. It requires some skill. At the end of the day, it also requires a lot of work. It takes the work to get it done. And some people just, they get all stuck on the Instagrams, on their Facebooks and TikTok, right? You see everyone just kind of think that that's work. But if you really want to take things to a whole different level, you got to really put in the work.
Yeah.
And I got to give out shout out to all the content producers that are out there, because it's a lot of work. I mean, it looks cool, the finished product, but how many times did they have to do that over and over and over before they got it right? Before they
set up the tripod to edit.
I mean, you saw how long it took me to set up our. By the way, we're on Instagram Live right now, so we're trying this thing out. So it's our first one. So, but yeah, no, it's a brutal world, and that's why I said earlier to you. You must just like that being in that challenge, because it is challenging.
Yeah, I do enjoy the work of it, and I realized after being a producer at eBay that I'm very organizational and I have the logistics down. So I like more that side of things. And then I like to delegate the other things to other people.
That's right. Well, I mean, it takes a team, right? It takes a team to accomplish what it is you're trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And give us a long game. I mean, or the big picture, the big dream that you have. I mean, right now it's a short film. Mm-hmm. You got to start somewhere.
Yes.
Got to start somewhere, right? And what happens after this? Like, what are we looking? What happens next after this short film comes out and becomes public and so forth? And honestly, what did it take to get to that point? Because I know getting into film is not just you produce something. There's licensing, there's legal stuff, there's the back end of that, in which that now goes into the entrepreneurship, right? You got to have an entrepreneurial spirit in order to want to do that kind of stuff, because it turns into a business. It's not fun and games anymore. Now it's how do we get paid for all the time that we're invested in it? So how does that work out for you? Yeah,
there were a lot of steps. And initially when I started this project, I wanted to rush into it because that's my default, is like, I'm so excited about it. Let's just go.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I talked to my oldest brother, he's like kind of a mentor to me too. And he was like, you need to slow down and really be intentional about your work so that you have bigger impact down the line. And so I really appreciated that advice. And I decided to slow down the timeline, really take some time to think about the marketing of how I was going to fundraise the money, because I needed $35,000. I didn't have that money to invest in this. So planning like fundraising events, planning stickers to sell, and just like different ways
the hard
to go
work.
about it. Yeah.
That's the hard work behind, and everyone sees the final product, but they don't see what it takes to get to the final product. And
exactly.
that's the part that I really admire about us entrepreneurs as we're coming up, because they see the end products, but they don't know the sweat and the tears and the blood that it takes to get there. I mean, every day is a challenge. Every day you're putting your life at risk, because you never know. All you need is one misstep, and that thing can just snowball into a disaster.
And so many things did go wrong too, that there were days where I thought it wasn't going to happen. There were days where I was crying and I just wanted to give up.
Welcome to entrepreneurship. Yes.
I had to let go one of my crew members because it just wasn't working out. Like, these are all really difficult things to go through.
Yeah.
But in the end, it ultimately helped me grow and see this is all worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that feel when you had to let go? It's almost like you had to fire somebody.
Yeah. And it was a friend too.
Yeah.
We still remain friends, but it's awkward, right?
Yeah.
When there's a friendship there and you're working together.
Yeah.
But I saw the project first, and I wanted to do anything that I had to make sure that this project happened. And unfortunately, that meant that we weren't going to be able to work together.
It's kind of similar in any other business. Company is always first. So your production is a company.
Right.
So company first, production, it's part of the company. So just like whatever it takes for our businesses to run is part of the production of the business in order for it to move forward and then, do what you got to do to earn the future, which is the income or the benefits of it. So, and it requires a business mindset. It requires a skill set. You have to manage budgets too.
Yeah.
I mean, we can dream the world, but the dreaming that costs money. So what it's a lot of work. Not a lot of people think that way. Not a lot of people want to put the time and energy into that.
It was a hustle for sure, but I honestly would be nowhere if it wasn't for my community of people around me.
Okay.
My parents, my friends, my family, and then also the people that I've met through networking events, which is how we first met at a networking event. My dad, as you know, he knows everybody in San Jose.
Wow. For the good and the bad, right? So he's a retired SJPD. We can say that now because
cut that out. He's not gonna like that.
He knows everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So he taught me how important it is to be able to connect with someone and learn about them.
He should be a politician.
My mom would never let him. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So through that skill set, I've been able to connect with the right people who have provided advice to me, financial help to me.
Yes.
And it's been really nice to grow in that way too.
Yeah. No, you definitely, I can see where he's opened up some doors, and when you have a good support behind you, it gives you the confidence that you can continue to move forward. And as you fail your way forward, right? Because we a lot of failure happens, and failure doesn't have to. It sounds negative and bad, but in order to get to success, you have to learn what not to do, and that's labeled as failure. And what's the learning lesson that you get from that experience, and I'm sure share with us what's probably one of the most hardest. I mean, aside from firing your friend, I mean, that's pretty brutal, but what are some of the things that you went along that have happened to you along this journey with Copacabana? Let's use that as an example.
I think the main thing that I take from it is just trusting myself, because I used to struggle a lot with doubting my decisions, or like looking elsewhere to guide me, asking my friend, what do you think about this? Or my mom, what do you think about this? But every time I make a decision that comes from me and from my inside, it always is the best decision to make. And I need to listen to that intuition more.
I was just going to say, one of the things, what's your sign, by the way?
Cancer.
All right. So July.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your Chinese sign?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh man, we need to find that one out. So, I'm a year of the dragon.
Okay.
And, and I'm a Gemini. So for me, it's, it doesn't get any better, right? My intuition, I have been good. It's been one of my talents. I can call out trends. I can call out, I can see futures and vision. And there's moments where I just doubt myself. And when I doubt myself and I run red flags, I've just had a recent experience in my life where, I thought somebody was something that turned out to be a fucking complete alien in my life, to realize that we don't listen to our gut feeling, our intuition. That's something that definitely we need to work on. And then I can understand that. Why? Because being in the entertainment industry, I was an orchestrator, right? You came in, I wasn't the DJ, I wasn't the bartender, I was the orchestrator at the front, I was the leader of the circus, and I delegated and I controlled the energy of the room at all times. And that just, it requires intuition. Like, I'm like, I know if I play this song right now, sales are going to go through the roof. Or if I do this, I'm going to get a reaction. I'm always going to keep the energy flowing. And that's what a director, producer, it takes. It takes your intuition. You got to follow that, because once we start asking for too many opinions or others' opinions, they're going to tell us probably what we want to hear versus what we need to hear. And that's where it becomes dangerous, because then we start going down a rabbit hole because we took somebody's, thought process and maybe it wasn't the best advice. And then we lose confidence in ourselves. So then we fail because it didn't go out the way it did. And then, or we look, something gets us back on course. And one of the things that I've noticed in my life is that when I get off course, I always revert back to people that were important in my life. I seek them so that they can come back in and pour into me and help me get back to a state of mind, in a state that I know I can run at the highest peak performance level that I know I can. And same thing with you. We gotta ground ourselves. Right. We ground ourselves.
You have to quiet down all the noise.
Ooh, yes.
And just look inside.
Yes.
So all the answers are right there.
I just reread all 3 of my books. By the way, I gave you copies of my books, right? Okay. Where are you at with the books? You better read it.
I've been busy, but I'm going to get to that, I promise.
I already told you, chapter 1 of Smoke and Mirrors. That thing is we're going to turn that into a movie.
I know.
It's going to be Smoke and Mirrors. I already have the first scene. It's a pretty funny scene and the way I see the movie starts. But I had to reread my books. And in reading Smoke and Mirrors, I wrote all my traumas. It was like that book was my therapy. And then as I wrote that book, I then thought of my second book, which was Decide, Commit, Execute. And that was my business mindset book. Make a decision, commit to it, and execute, right? And then assess, address, move on. And then I get into this rut in my life, and I have all the answers and the tools and the intuitions. All the answers are within us. I mean, I wrote 3 books. Yeah. I wrote about something. I'm even reading it. I'm like, damn, who wrote this? This guy is good. And, but all the answers were there. Yeah. And all I had to do was just refresh my memory, dump and detach from all the garbage and the bullshit and the noise and, the friends, sometimes even the family. You got to distance yourself away from all that because you need to get it back into your creative space, into your grounded space. And then I always tell people, I said, get ready, because I turn into a monster. And when I turn into that mode, I know the things that I'm capable of doing, and we're all capable of doing it. Like you, your creative genius is coming out. You're sold out already, by the way. And I mean, sold out. That's something to be super proud of. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you how to fit them in more, how to cram them in, but do some standing room tickets. I mean, you never know. I'm just telling you, But that's something to be very proud of. Why? Because it's going to be first of its kind.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that keep you entertained as well? I mean, aside from the movie production, you got to have something that feeds that creative genius inside of you.
Ooh. I mean, looking to other creators and talented people that I'm surrounded by, I'm always inspired by my peers and the work that they're doing.
So what are some of the things that feed you, you know?
Honestly, just connecting with people. I consider myself like a mix of an introvert and an extrovert.
I was going to say I can feel that you were going to go in there, and I'm pulling it out of you. But you know what? It's interestingly enough, as much as I said I was in the entertainment industry, I was a version of an introvert too, you know. But when I walked in the door of my nightclubs, any nightclub event or concert that I produced, the minute that I walked inside the door, it was showtime.
Yeah.
And I became the character, Mauricio.
Yeah.
Right? There's Mauricio, and then there's Mauricio.
Mm-hmm.
And when Mauricio comes out and it's fun time, it's everyone's having a blast, and it's, you know, we go balls to the wall.
Yeah. Because
I want everyone to have that experience so that we can come back. And then people like to talk about fun times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey man, that was the beauty about being in the entertainment industry for so long. Everyone talks about a great movie. You know, everyone gets excited about that great scene or that great energy. Yeah. So
that's how I feel when I walk on set. It's like my artist name is Ruby Ray. So that I become Ruby Ray when I'm on set and I'm directing and I'm delegating. And I just like,
I love it.
I'm this other person.
Yeah, you're Ruby Ray. You're character. Yeah. You're in character. So same thing with me. It's when there's Mauricio at home, and then there's Mauricio. It walks in, and you know, and it's got that little flavor, that swaggy that just, you know, we're in it to make it happen.
Yeah.
So, any artists or actors, anyone that has inspired you that you know that we can talk about and share? I mean,
the first person that comes to mind is this woman. Her name is Nadia Lee Cohen.
Okay.
And she makes a lot of really interesting photo shoots and short videos. And she's starting to blow up. I think she recently worked with Beyonce on something.
Nice.
But yeah, I've followed her for years, and I find a lot of inspiration from her.
Did you ever make a connection with her?
Not yet. I'm still doing a lot of like the building blocks to building my portfolio, so that when I'm ready, I can show them my portfolio and it speaks for itself.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. I mean, again, it's you're an artist in your own way. Mm-hmm. So you gotta build that portfolio so you can share that with the world.
Yeah.
Any other actors or producers out there that you follow that have been inspirational to you?
I mean, the work that Tyler, the creator, puts out, I don't know who his team is that he's working with. I need to look more into it, but he does like the Golf Le Fleur videos that are really artistic and beautiful. Like the color palette's so pretty. And
what's his name?
Tyler, the creator. He's a rapper.
Okay.
But he has all these other entrepreneurial endeavors.
Nice.
But everything that he puts out visually is so gorgeous.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I always look to him too.
Good. What about for you? You mentioned right now the entrepreneurial ventures, right, that others have. Do you have any other entrepreneurial ventures that you're kind of, because movie and production is almost like seasonal or it's per project. You know, there's a whole thing about starving artists for a reason, you know, or starving musicians. Because it's a brutal world out there too. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of actors in Hollywood, Latino actors too, that I mean, again, it sounds fun and exciting to say I'm an actor, but when you need something to pay the bills.
Right.
So
yeah. Sometimes I feel crazy when I talk to my friends because I don't like to box myself into one thing. So like right now, I really like the filmmaking.
Okay.
Before it was the fashion design. One day I want to design a shoe. One day I want to design a sewing machine. One day I want to do like a financial literacy class for women. Like I have all of these crazy ideas that really aren't related, but kind of are.
Yeah. Well, I can help you in all three of those. I can help you with the you know, obviously manufacturing of a shoe if you design one. The financial literacy, I have definitely a big network on that that I could share with you. And, one day maybe we host a financial literacy event, right? Hosted, produced by you. And I just bring you the people that can share the knowledge.
That'd be awesome.
And then you organize it. I'll bring you the people that not only will share, but also show people that they may be able to jump into that field in that world and make things happen. So
I wish financial literacy was more accessible to everyday people.
Yeah, I wish they taught it in our schools.
Yeah.
I think that our schools are they're missing the boat. I mean, they're teaching us things on how to be employees, and not leaders and not thinkers, right? Not big thinkers, right? They're putting us through curriculums and teaching us the past, but for what?
Yeah.
Right? We need to produce. We need to become creative geniuses as well, and use our talents and our energies. There's so much wasted talent out there that just undiscovered talent because of the way that the kids are brought up. I mean, well, now it's different though too. I mean, everybody jumps in. Everybody wants to be some kind of influencer of somewhere because they tap into a certain thing, and I'm still learning that whole world, because I think they say when it kicks off and it blows up, you start getting paid. So I'm putting it in my time right now. I am. I mean, we just broke 39,000 subscribers, which it doesn't sound a lot when there's other, like there's people there, but my goal is to hit 100,000 people this year. And once we hit that, I mean, the universe changes too, right? It's just
that's amazing.
It's a whole different level, right? We're climbing, like eagles, we're flying high, so
congratulations. That's huge.
Yeah, no, I'm and you can't buy those. You can't buy those subscribers. You can't like likes and friends and all that. No, you can't buy those. You got to put in the work, and you got to, I mean, people watch. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, so I'm excited about that as well. So we're looking forward to hitting 100,000 subscribers, hopefully by the summertime. I really want to hit that, because as you're producing content, the algorithm starts to compound itself. And there's moments where I'm like, oh shit, what's happening here? The growth, right? And that's something that, as you're developing your side of the business, start putting content up now, because you got to start building up, and then do the collaborations with other people that can help elevate those numbers. I know that we talked about inspiration and other things. I mean, what else keeps the motivation for you to keep going? Because again, you're very young, by the way, too. So congratulations on that. Thank you. Yeah. You're started at a young age, and you're breaking barriers. And what keeps the juices flowing?
I don't know. I can't really place where this motivation comes from, but I just feel hungry to keep going.
Yeah.
And I have this intuitional feeling that I've been laying down a lot of groundwork for something really exciting to happen. So I think after seeing Copa, and it's a success to me already, even though I haven't gotten into any film festivals. I haven't started. When
I played the trailer, I was like, and by the way, make sure that our producer gets the trailer so we can put it in the show. No, you're the energy that, I mean, you actually dive right into, like, you're in the era.
Yeah.
Right? It just, the vibe, the energy, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So
it feels like a huge success to me already. So I think just seeing that come to fruition, and it being an idea that I've had since I was literally 7 years old, it's surreal, and that's what keeps me going. Like, okay, if I did that, what else can I do?
Yeah. Is that movie going to be, do you see the future of developing that to a larger film, or just keep it short film?
No, it was always meant to just be short.
Okay.
I don't want to make money off of it or anything. I purely just wanted to prove to myself that I could do it.
Nice.
And that I could raise $35,000, which I exceeded. And it was all just to prove to myself. So now that I have this confidence, I'm ready to go to the next thing. And I'm already getting approached to produce other films already. So I'm excited.
Very nice. Imagine when that comes and they say, hey, here's a couple $1 million budget, right? And then you start going into the multi-million-dollar budgets. I have a good friend of mine, Drex Lee, who's a producer. He does some great work out there. And he's like, oh, yeah, man. $80-100 million productions out there.
Yeah.
There's, again, once you get to that level, there's a whole different set of politics behind it. and so forth. I mean, hey, nothing in life is easy.
Yeah.
Nothing in life is easy. So, but yeah, I mean, once you get to that level, though, you're playing with the big dogs, So, and it's no different than in any business or businesses that I'm in as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Once you surround yourself with that mindset, you got to level up. You got to level up. So, do you see any others up and coming people from the Bay Area that are following, kind of looking at your steps right now and seeing the noise that you're creating? Because you're trailblazing right now for everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I was just approached to produce a short film by a professor at San Jose State, so that's really exciting.
Okay, San Jose State has a great film. I mean, I went to San Jose State. I was a radio, television, and film major and business marketing double major.
Nice.
Even though I dropped out on my fourth year, I talk about it with excitement, but literally on the fourth year, I dropped out. I was like, you know what? I'm done with school. I'm already making money. I don't need it. And, no regrets. But I remember the RTVF classes, man. It was fun.
Nice.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, San Jose State is a good one.
Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited too, because I'll be launching a scholarship with San Jose State. So I'm announcing that at my screening.
Nice.
We're partnering with the film and animation programs that are at San Jose State to select one student to award them $1,000 towards their tuition.
So on stuff like that, you can count me in. I know I saw there was a sponsorship thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I can do anything to help another student or another human being to elevate their game and get them, count me in on stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's like where my philanthropy spirit really kicks in, because I'm all about trying to help the next person, right? And again, for me, it doesn't have to be a specific, as long as it's just a human being that wants to do good and continue to pay it forward. Yeah. If I have an impact on somebody like that, then I've accomplished my mission. So count me in on that one. Okay. So yes, it'll be the Studio B or Mauricio Mejia Life Scholarship or whatever we name it, but or powered by, but we'll make that happen. So yeah,
I'm really excited about it because I was thinking about the project and what we were able to accomplish, but how can we make it more of a long-lasting, long-term thing? So this is the first scholarship, and we're going to continue it every year.
Nice. From here on out. Yeah, it has to become an annual thing. So you just have to figure out what you do, right? What's going to be the driver for that? We don't have a Latino film festival here in the Bay Area. I know there's one in LA.
Yeah, I know the LA one.
Yeah, maybe something to consider in the future, or some kind of film and entertainment festival, right? Where, you blend it. Maybe we don't have enough filmmakers and enough entertainment people or of each one, and we just combine them. I mean, again, it's ideas, right? So we got to come up with something. We got to create our own.
Right.
If we want that, especially when you got three major cities, San Francisco, Oakland, and San Jose. Where else in California do you have three major cities within an hour distance from each other? So
that's a great idea.
There you go. We're creative. We're content creators here, So okay, well, I mean, again, I just wanted to just kind of share with the world, what you're working on, and again, the inspiration and what drives us, right? What drives the creative juices. For all the women out there, all the Latino women, or all women, all people, what are some of the words of encouragement or motivation that you would want to share with them that have inspired you?
Just to stand confident, even if you are the only person on your team, if you're the only woman on your team, or the only minority on your team, like, be confident in that and show what your skills are. But like you said, I think filmmaking is all about teamwork. There's going to be diversity, and you're going to be working with different people all the time. But yeah, you just have to be confident and show up knowing that you belong there.
Wow.
And we need to make these changes, because if we're not going to do it, then who else is?
That's right. Confidence, show up, and do the work. And all of that, it all works together. And it allows you to flow and continue to do some great stuff. Who gave you that advice?
I'm just learning that as I go, honestly.
Right. Yeah. From all the falls.
Yeah.
All the falls.
It was a rough year, but we're still here.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to seeing your film come out, your short film next month or in February 2025. And tickets are already sold out, guys. So we can't even give you tickets if I wanted to. So, and I'm sure your family's very proud and happy. And we're looking forward to being out there on the red carpet. You're going to do the whole red carpet, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have the red carpet, step and repeat.
I have classic cars coming.
Nice.
In the 50s. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So you're going all out.
Yeah.
So good. Well, we're definitely going to be out there. We're going to be supporting you. And, again, we look to continue to build on this relationship here. As things come, we definitely want to be a supporter of all the dreams, big dreams that you have and all the people that you're trying to impact. So,
thank you.
Yeah, let's make it happen. So I think we're good. We're good here. All right. Thank you, everybody. Mauricio Mejia Live, Lorena Cortez. If they want to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you? What's your Instagram handles, your Facebook, and do you have a YouTube channel too as well?
My Instagram would be the best way. It's at Retro Ruby Ray.
All right. At Retro Ruby. We'll put it up on our screen. And then do you have a website for the movie that's going to be coming out soon or not yet? Or
it'll probably be on my portfolio, lorenacortez.com.
All right. So lorenacortez.com. There you go. I got to give you all the plugs right now. So, you. This thing goes viral. Next thing you know, I'm like, hey, well, you got to thank the people that are helping out. So, all right. Well, good. Well, thank you so much again for taking the time to come out here. We can go for hours and hours and talk shop here all night. So, but thank you. And we look forward to seeing you become the next superstar, director, producer, representing the Latinos, Latinas, globally. Yeah. So we got to think big.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
All righty. Sounds good.
Like, comment, subscribe. Mauricio Mejia Live on YouTube.